Hey now, I am Steve Severs from Bionic Buzz, but tonight you can call me Darth Star-Lord. We're here at Yuri's Night Out LA here at the California Science Center. Let's go see who we can talk to. So here at Bionic Buzz, before we get everything going on Yuri's Night Out, we're all about people's passion. Where'd your passion for science and space kind of come from? Some at a young age or kind of came later in life?
It came at a young age, but this is the funny thing, I can't tell you where it came from because as long as I can remember, I had a passion for space and I had a passion for science fiction. So I don't know whether I had a passion for science fiction because I loved space or I had a passion for space because I loved science fiction. I loved every science fiction TV show, but I also remember as a kid being taken to a planetarium and just, I don't remember what the show was, but I was bouncing off the walls when I came out of it. So it's always been intertwined, so I love both.
Awesome. Well, explain what's going on here tonight. You're using VR to show people what it's like to be in space. So.
Yeah, so we're here from iPac from Caltech, and what we've done is we're trying to let people visualize what it would be to fly around one of the closest exoplanetary systems. So this is a very nearby star. It's about 40 light years away, so not very nearby our technology.
Yeah.
But
hopefully one day.
Yeah, hopefully one day, definitely. And then what it is astronomers have discovered 7 planets orbiting this very dim star. So, and this star is a little bit larger than Jupiter, so it's actually more like Jupiter and its moons rather than the sun in our solar system. But still, this dim red star is putting out enough light that for these 7 planets, some of them are in what's called the habitable zone. That is, they may have, if it have water, it would be in a liquid form, which we always think is linked to life. But on top of that, because of the way we found them, which is a transit system where when it passes in front of the star, it casts a little shadow, and we can tell how big the planets are. And because there are 7 and they're tugging on each other, from that we can figure out their mass. Now we know their mass and their size, so we can know their density. So we have a pretty good idea that some of these planets actually have water on them.
Wow.
So we've visualized what they could potentially be. If they're too far out, they would be frozen worlds. If they're too close in, they'll be molten, very hot worlds.
Yeah.
But there's 3 worlds which we think potentially could be something similar or akin to Earth or something that we're more familiar with. And that's what this virtual reality is about, is to immerse you in this system and fly from one planet to the next, because in this system it would actually be fairly trivial to fly from one planet to the next because it's so small, their separations are so small. But the planets are Earth-sized, more or less, and so if you're actually standing on one, these planets would be in the sky larger than our moon.
Oh, wow.
So talk about mixing science fiction and reality. So this is a real system, and it's the system that we've learned a lot about based on different observatories, ground-based, space-based, and TRAPPIST-1 was discovered primarily initially by a Belgian team with a ground-based telescope, and it was around a star that was originally discovered, part of what's called the 2-micron all-sky survey, which was based at iPac in its data gathering and archiving. So it's all linked by a lot of different instruments, space-based and ground-based, and the Spitzer Space Telescope was the one that finally found that there were 7 of these planets around this star.
That's so cool. So for anyone, where can people go to the VR thing? Because is there a thing you could download of any VR experience, or you got to be something you can only get?
Right now it's only in person, but we're hoping that we will get it out there at a point where you could be able to, if you have Oculus or something like that, you will download it and run it.
That's awesome. Where can we go for more information to follow you and your organization?
So for our website, you can go to ipac.caltech.edu, or if you're interested in the various missions, you can go to the Spitzer Space Telescope website, just do a search on Spitzer Space Telescope. But TRAPPIST-1, do a search on just TRAPPIST-1, and it's spelled like the Belgian beer because it was the Belgians who were doing it.
All right.
Originally, and then it was led by the Belgians, and then and also the NASA's Exoplanet Science Institute, which is also based at iPac. That's another place where you can get a lot of information about all of this.